starts now.
And good morning, I'm Rick Fulbaum. Thanks so much for joining us here on ANF Plus as we get set to take you to a news conference that's about to begin any moment now. I'm going to pull that up real fast so you can see it. And this is going to be a back-to-school briefing held by the folks at the Fulton County School Board, including Superintendent Mike Looney. We'll also hear from the board president, Kristen McCabe, and other members of the Fulton County Board of Education, cabinet members, other staff leaders as well. And of course, they're previewing the start of a brand new school year. The first day of schools in Fulton County is Monday, August 4th. So district leaders are eager to share about what's new for this upcoming school year and how they're getting ready for the first day of school. Fulton County Schools is the fourth largest school district in Georgia with 102 schools total. So a lot of kids here in Metro Atlanta attending Fulton County Public Schools. And again, that news conference is set to begin any moment now. But before it starts, we do want to talk a little bit about the weather. And for that, I'm going to toss it over to my colleague, Courtney Jacobazzi. And Courtney, I'm trying to find something I can pull up here. How about that? Okay, let's do that. And we'll pull it up. Okay, there you go. So, Courtney, what's going on?
Yeah, another hot day expected across Atlanta. So get ready for the heat, another dangerously hot day. Today's forecast very similar to yesterday, except we are going to have the addition of more widespread storms later on this afternoon and evening. So today is a first alert weather day. We want to just get you prepared for what's to come. High impact on your day, as you can see there on that graphic. And of course, we're going to be keeping an eye on that press conference that's expected to begin. If it does, we will dip out of weather and go back to that conference for you. And you can, of course, find all the details on your forecast on the First Alert Weather app or at AtlantaNewsFirst.com. So today, high impact, dangerously hot. We're looking at temperatures again between 95 degrees and 100, and we will have widespread evening storms. Now, the storms won't have, I think, as big of an impact on your day because by the time the storms become most widespread, we should be kind of settling down for the day. But just to remind you, we do have those heat alerts in effect until 8 o'clock tonight. We have the heat advisory in place until 8 p.m. for just about all of North Georgia with the exception of the mountains. So from Spalding County into the mountains, you are not under this heat advisory. An excessive heat warning or an extreme heat warning for Jasper, Putnam, Morgan, and Greene counties for heat advisory or for temperatures, feels like temperatures upwards of 110 degrees. So let's take you through the day and show you what to expect when it comes to that heat index. By 3 o'clock, so kind of heat of the day, we're looking at feels like temperatures 105 from Atlanta off to the east. I do think places like Eatonton and Athens will have those higher feels like temperatures again today, potentially as high as 110. And then even if you have any dinner plans tonight, any evening plans, temperatures still feeling more like the low to mid 90s. So very steamy Tuesday on the way. Now, going into the evening tonight, we'll have that increased coverage of storms, and there's a reason for that. The ridge of high pressure that's been cooking us the last several days is going to start to break down, and we have this trough that's developing along the coast. Essentially what a trough is, it's just a piece of energy, a little kink in the atmosphere that adds a little extra lift to the atmosphere, and a low is going to try to develop along it. And what that low is going to do is just streamline moisture into the area, so that's going to allow for more widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. We should stay mostly dry through noon outside of maybe an isolated storm. But for your evening commute, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, a few spotty showers and storms will develop. So here's a look at 7. If you have any dinner plans, we're looking at some heavy rain in any of these storms that develop. Most widespread coverage of showers and storms will be around and after sunset tonight. You can see they're all kind of moving from the northeast off to the southwest around that low that will be kind of skirting off to our south throughout the day. And then tomorrow, right now, not a first alert weather day, but it does look like the models are hinting at maybe some more widely scattered showers and storms that could impact your evening commute. So if this plays out, we will issue that first alert weather day if models continue to trend this way. Looks like along and south of I-20, again, closer to that trough, closer to that low to our south. That's where we'll have the most widespread rain. So storms could impact your evening commute tomorrow. It does look like they're starting to get set up with this news conference about Fulton County going back to school and all the big back to school festivities. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that, but just know that we're going to be bringing weather to an end. And for that reason, I'm going to show you the 7-day forecast. We'll just skip right to that so we can get you out to that press conference. 97 today for our first alert weather day. Scattered storms that could impact your evening commute tomorrow, but notice temperatures go back in the low 90s. Friday, a cold front moves through that could impact kids heading home from school on Friday for the first day for some of you. And then the weekend significantly cooler with temperatures back in the upper 80s. Or excuse me, the upper 70s to low 80s. So a big cool down on the way for this upcoming weekend. All right. It looks like they're starting to set up on this news conference, but in the meantime, again, get ready for the cool down after the really hot days. The upper 70s, low 80s will feel fantastic. And for Monday, speaking of back to school Monday for a lot of kids, temperatures will stay in the low 80s, so it won't be excruciatingly hot as you're sending them back to school, which is an isolated chance for storms. All right, we're going to send you back out live to this press conference here, or this news conference, and Rick will carry you through that.
All right, Courtney, thank you so much. And again, this is a live picture coming to us from Briar Hills Elementary School. This is in East Point, Georgia. And at the front of the room, you see the podium there, sort of a desk, rather, where members of the Fulton County School Board and leaders from the district are gathering. And again, this is a back-to-school briefing that they're set to hold. The superintendent of Fulton County Schools, Mike Looney, is there. They will be taking some questions from members of the media. And this is all ahead of the first day of school for Fulton County. That begins Monday, August the 4th. So it's coming up. District leaders want to talk about what's new for this coming school year and how they've been preparing and getting ready for the first day of school. We'll hear from Dr. Looney and also members of the cabinet. Fulton County Schools is the fourth largest school district in Georgia, with an enrollment of about 86,000 students or so. And I think this news conference is getting started. So let's take you live now to Briar Hills Elementary School for a back-to-school briefing from the leaders at Fulton County Schools.
All right, Ms. Warren, don't make me laugh.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. For those of you who I have not met, my name is Brian Noyes. I'm the Chief Communications Officer, and we are excited to have you all here for our back-to-school media briefing. Thank you for attending. We're going to start with our board president, Ms. McCabe. Then we'll proceed to Dr. having some opening remarks. Each of our cabinet members will then have a few moments to talk about areas that they're focused on. And then we'll come back with Dr. Looney giving a little preview for our all-in on day one and new school year. We'll then have an opportunity for the media to ask some questions, and we'll have tours afterwards. I'll be glad to help facilitate the questions when we come back. So with that, I'd like to invite our board president, Ms. McCabe, up to the front.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Noyes. And thank you all for being here. We appreciate our friends in the media for joining us today as we prepare to welcome back our students to school. Your coverage helps our families and communities stay connected to the great work happening in Fulton County Schools. I also want to take a moment and recognize my fellow board members that are joining us today. Our Vice President, Ms. Francesca Warren, Dr. Michelle Moranci, Miss Kimberly Dove, Miss Sarah Gillespie, Miss Lily Pozotic, and Miss Katie Gregory. We are proud to serve together on behalf of the students and families of the district. As a board, our focus is clear. We are committed to providing the resources and setting the policies that allow our students to learn, grow, and achieve at the highest levels. Our role is to set the vision and the direction so that every classroom can be a place where success is possible. The first day of school is always filled with excitement and promise. We know it takes the dedication of our teachers, staff, families, and community partners to make each year a success, and we are grateful for everything you do. On behalf of the board, I want to welcome everyone here. Together, let's make this an outstanding year for all of our students. Thank you. Dr. Lee.
Thank you, Ms. McCabe. Thank all of you for being here this morning. It's hard to believe that August 4th is just around the corner. And I will tell you, as an experienced superintendent, it seems to me that the summers go by quicker and quicker each year. But I want you to know that our team members have been busy readying for the school year. Everything from the hiring decisions necessary to ensure that our students are with a high qualified, experienced teacher in the classroom, to make sure our facilities such as this one are operational, clean, and ready to be used, to make sure our transportation system is ready to pick up students on the first day of school, and that when they arrive, they feel safe and secure with caring, helpful adults ready to give them a great learning experience. Once again, we've been very busy this summer readying for success. And while we have a lot of achievement data and data that we can talk about, most of that data is still embargoed by the state. However, I will say this, over the next weeks and months, as that data is unveiled, I think you will be pleased with the results that Fulton County Schools once again has produced. With that being said, I want to make sure that I give a warm word of gratitude for all those individuals that participated in First Day Fulton this last Saturday. We had over 8,000 family participants show up to learn more about Fulton County Schools, to get the necessary supplies. Thanks to everyone that made that day a very special. I think it's a testament to the engagement that we have here in Fulton County Schools and the commitment that we have to make sure that we're ready on day one. With that being said, I have some esteemed colleagues up here with me, and I want to turn the microphone over to our Chief Academic Officer, Mr. Brandon Gaskins. Mr. Gaskins.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Looney. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to share with you some exciting updates in the area of academics. So our first update, Fulton County is proud to be on the forefront of bringing artificial intelligence to our students and our teachers. So last year in middle and high school, we trained all of our teachers in the fundamentals of AI education. This year, we will also train all of our elementary teachers as well as our school leaders in new hires in the area of AI, focusing on the tools that are appropriate for AI, ethics, and instructional strategies. We've adopted some district-supported AI platforms, Microsoft Copilot Chat, to help teachers with lesson planning and instructional support. And we've also adopted School AI, which is a student-friendly platform offering tutoring, classroom resources, and writing assistance for all of our students. Also in the area of AI, we are happy to be one of the first school districts to adopt an artificial intelligence career pathway. So we will be implementing a AI pathway at our Innovation Academy, Fulton Innovation Academy, this school year. Speaking of additional pathways, we have a continued investment in music education. So Banneker High School, Bear Creek Middle School, and McNair, they received a music to implement production and engineering classes at their schools. So since 2023, we've received over $300,000 from Save the Music for music equipment and instruments for our students. So we're very proud of that partnership. And then finally, most importantly, we have an attendance campaign to encourage students and parents that we're all in on day one as it relates to attendance. So this campaign focuses on 4 strategies. raising awareness about attendance, building strong relationships between the school community and parents, removing barriers through additional resources like backpacks and school supplies to get our students ready for school on the first day, as well as hygiene supplies, and then proactively communicating with families around attendance concerns before they become patterns. So at this time, I would like to turn it over to our Chief of Operations, Noel Maloof.
Thank you very much. Good morning. We've had a very productive summer this summer in operations. In addition to the thousands of projects that our talented maintenance team has gotten out there and worked on to have our schools ready for first day, we have done over 100 renovations and renewals in our schools thanks to the SPLOST funding here in Fulton County. We are also opening the school that we're sitting in, the new Briar Hills Elementary School here in East Point. We continue construction on the North Springs High School in Sandy Springs. That is a replacement school. We also are continuing construction on S.L. Lewis Elementary School replacement and a Camp Creek Middle School replacement in the city of South Fulton. So we've got a lot going on in the world of construction and facilities. School nutrition team continues their work focused on farm to school and scratch cooking to bring nutritious meals to our students so they go into the classrooms prepared every day. We're launching a new online payment system as well as some menu price increases. So please go to our website and visit to look for the details on that. We encourage all parents to sign up and make sure their kids are accessing their lunches, and we give you the convenience of the online purchase there. We continue to focus on our transportation department because they are the first place our students arrive in the mornings, and we have done a really good job of adding to our team this year. We are covering all of our routes, and we're expecting to start as normal this year. We will see some of those first week delays, so we ask that everyone is patient, works with our transportation. If you don't need to be in front of our schools, don't be in front of our schools with your cars. If you're there and you're dropping off, please be patient. If you've got your kid at the bus stop, we have a wonderful app that's called Here Come the Bus. Go sign up for that. That helps you track your bus in real time to make sure you know where it is. And if there are any delays, we notify you through that. So, again, patience the first week. Please don't pass our buses illegally. Please make sure that you're helping them stay safe with those kids that we're bringing to school. We're looking forward to a great school year this year and have our facilities ready to go and our food ready to go and our buses ready to go. So I will turn it over to the esteemed Marvin DeReef, our Chief Financial Officer at this time.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm very excited for another outstanding school year. On June 10th, 2025, the school board adopted the budget for this school year. Within that, they've approved $1.8 billion in new funding. I'm excited, and I'm here to say thank you. Thank you to the state for their investment in Fulton County School, $449 million for this school year. And I also want to thank the taxpayers. We get over 63% of our budget is from the taxpayers, $897 million for this school year. Investing in our students, understanding that their learning and their growth has a great impact on society. I also want to recognize that, as Mr. Maloof mentioned, the sales tax done outstanding work. That special purpose local option sales tax helps generate for this coming school year $250 million to support capital assets as well as technology. So every 5 years there's a referendum and the voters vote on this important endeavor. So I want to say thank you. Thank you to all those who invest in our schools. And I encourage you, join the PTA, PTO, booster clubs. Understand that we're 70 miles long. There's bound to be a school near you. Please take a moment to invest in our schools. And that's what I have for today.
Well, first of all, good morning. Excited to be here. Beautiful facility that we're building for the beautiful kids here at in the South as well. So excited about that. Also, I know that this is a great time of the year as well. This is the first week of school, one of my favorite times other than Christmas. But kids are coming back, right?
They're reuniting with their friends. I think parents are excited as well. I know I am, because when I get home, there'll be food in the house, right? But I'm glad my son's going back. But anyway, from the human capital side of the house, this is the second year in a row that Fulton County Schools gets to say that we are 99% filled in regards to our vacancy rates. If you know, yeah. This is a significant achievement, because across the nation and in Georgia, a lot of our districts are struggling to find teachers, certified teachers, and at the start of the year, almost every single one of our students will have a certified teacher in front of them. So this is great. So a couple of other things. Last week, we had over 300 new teachers be welcomed to Fulton County Schools. So this is fantastic as well. They were greeted, we trained them, the superintendent, the chief academic officer was there to welcome them. So great things happening in Fulton County Schools. Talk a little bit deeper about the data. We only have about 73 vacancies left in the entire district. So if you're interested in working for Fulton County Schools, now is the time, right? We have a couple of positions, so let me just go through them pretty quickly. 20 elementary, 6 math, 3 science, 4 ELAs, 3 social studies vacancies, and 13 special education vacancies. About 2 years ago, we were here talking about over 100 special ed. So our principals, our staff has done a fantastic job recruiting as well. Also police officers, we have 6 right now. By the end of the month, we'll have 3. So if you want to work, or if you want to make sure that you are keeping our students safe, this is the place to work at if you want to be a school police officer as well. Now, the news doesn't stop there. Also last year at this time, I introduced the Level Up Fulton program. If you remember that, it's our differentiated professional development program for all staff members. And during that time, I said that we will be providing career pathway opportunities. And so far, let me just share with you a little bit out of the what we've done so far. So we've opened up 2 phases. And in those 2 phases, 1,500 staff members have voluntarily been part of this. Okay, so that's number 1. 210 have either taken 1 or 2 courses. So another great thing. And 25 of those individuals have been promoted because of the Level Up program. So that is a great part of the district. We are very proud of it. And this is the reason I believe that another great goal that we have, and that is that we have made the 89% retention rate goal as well. 3 years ago when I was sitting here, I told you we were in the high 70s. We're almost at 90%. And again, that is a very challenging thing, but I think our culture, our support of teachers is also helping that as well. So lots of great things in the human capital space, lots to be proud of, but the biggest thing is every single one of our kids will have a teacher, a certified teacher, be in front of them to push them towards growing. So again, thank you. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Joe Phillips, Chief Information Officer.
Thank you, Dr. LaCava. Very excited for the start of the year. This year is always my favorite time of year. The weekend was amazing. It was the first time that we had all of our IT leaders out at First Day Fulton at both locations, so they got to actually see what we do on the ground, and that's a big part of what we're going to be doing different inside of our technology division this year. So our mission in the IT division is to support the teaching, the learning, and the operations of our school district, and to that end, we are implementing several improvements this year while also being able to decrease our IT budget and spend this year. What I'd like to do now is go over what improvements we're putting in place for the school district this year. So starting off, we now have dedicated technicians for each and every school inside of Fulton County Schools. And that is 2 to 3 technicians at each high school, 1 to each school, and 1 for each elementary. And depending on the number of students in each school is how we get to 2 to 3 or 1 to 2. Additionally, for the first year, our techs are already out in schools right now proactively looking at all the technology setup and putting in tickets so that we can get those issues resolved as soon as possible. We're going to get as much done before start of school and continue working these issues so that every teacher can teach and every classroom and office is ready to go throughout the district. We're also implementing what I call our 5-minute first contact resolution rule at all of our schools this year. And what that means is is when a student has a technology issue and they bring that to our in-school tech, if our technicians cannot resolve that issue within 5 minutes, that student is issued a new device and they get to go back to class. And we're not going to track that student back down and try to give them the repaired device. We're trying to make sure that we're minimizing the disruption to instructional time with this process. We've also implemented a brand new IT ticketing and inventory system for Fulton County Schools called Incident IQ. And for the first time ever, students will be able to submit their own IT tickets, and our staff will proactively go out and engage with the students so that, again, we can decrease that disruption to instructional time and make sure that students are able to spend as much time on task as possible. We've also extended our new Technology Support Center hours. And so starting this week, our hours for our Technology Support Center are 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And students and parents are also welcome to call our Technology Support Center to get the help that they need with homework, or teachers if they're trying to do work at home, or staff members. We're going to be there to support our folks. We also, for this year, have implemented and have now available an optional student device protection plan. So students, just like band equipment, sports equipment, textbook, and other school district property, when they're issued that property, they're responsible for it, and they have that financial cost if something negative happens with that device. What we're offering this year is an optional protection plan that students and families can opt into. It's $50 premium. For students, $25 for Title I eligible or free and reduced lunch students. And then when an incident happens, it'll be a $50 deductible for incidents. If it's something like a charger or a small cost item that is less than that $50 deductible, that'll be capped at the cost of that repair or replacement. And then finally, we're going into year 2 of our AI task force. Mr. Gaskins spoke very well about School AI and Microsoft Copilot that we're already bringing in. We're going to continue the work of our AI task force. The entire goal of our task force is to make sure that we're bringing AI into Fulton County Schools in a safe and ethical manner while making sure that we can leverage it in our teaching, learning, and operations. So with that, I'll pass it over to our wonderful superintendent, Dr. Mike Looney, to talk about all in for day 1.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your report. Obviously, there are a lot of wonderful, dynamic things happening in Fulton County Schools. We're dynamic, we're complex, we're beautifully diverse, and I think that's one of our strengths. So as we approach First Day Fulton, we've been having this conversation about how do we get everybody all in. And I'm reminded of football coaches that are working with their players. They want them to show up at every practice, give their 100%. The same thing is true of a band or a musical or a chorus. They want their students to have their practice, to get their time in, because every one of us believes that practice makes perfect. The same is true of academics. There is an inextricable link to student attendance and student performance in school. We are experiencing a national phenomenon, a national crisis, if you would. In fact, I read an article this weekend that the chronic absentee rate in the state of Georgia is 21% or higher. And so the research indicates that for every day of school that you have a compounding effect on lost learning. Back to school message is this: we need everybody to be all in on the first day of school. I recognize that the first couple of days of school are hectic, and there's this natural inclination, well, I'll wait for the storm to calm before I send my child. But I will tell you, if you do that, you're starting the year off behind. We need everybody on deck, in place, ready to do our business, students, parents, employees, so that we begin the first day of school all in. That's our plea from Fulton County Schools. We know it's going to be another amazing year academically, artistically, and athletically. We're going to continue to set records like you wouldn't believe. But our ability to do that is directly influenced about having all of our team members show up. And our students are team members. Our families are team members. Our employees are team members. You know, I view it this way. If I were to start a new job, what kind of message would I send my employer if I didn't show up the first day of work? Or the second day, or the third day, or the fourth day? if I waited till after Labor Day. The truth of it is, we all have a job to do, and that's to show up, to be engaged, to make sure our community continues to thrive and prosper. Thank you so much for attending this part of the session. We will now turn, with Brian's leadership, go to Q&A.
So thank you all very much. Wonderful information. Before we get started, I want to thank our principal, Brandy Nichols, here, who has welcomed us and allowed us to We're going to have some opportunities for you to visit her school. She's getting to know it too, right? So please pardon our dust, if you will. With that, we would like to have an opportunity to let the media ask some questions. And if you have a request for individual stand-ups or something afterwards, please let Ann Boatwright or myself know. We can facilitate some additional follow-up. So with that, any questions? Mark?
I have one for Dr. Gaskins and one for Dr. LaCava. You mentioned the AI a little bit about some of the guardrails around that. I think sometimes parents get concerned about, the regulations or lack of regulations around AI. So if you could give some details on what the pathway might look like. And Dr. LaCava, I was curious, you mentioned that you were able to really increase the number of special education educators that you have now, and I was wondering how you were able to recruit them, because that is a problem across the board for districts.
So, great question. Thank you for asking that question. We are, as you have mentioned, really concerned that students are using AI in an appropriate and ethical manner. So the pathway includes 3 courses. So 3 courses over your pathway. The very first course is focused on ethics, making sure that students are using it in a responsible ways. And then it's also focused on innovation. It is a state-adopted course, so this course has been piloted in other high schools before it was offered to us to adopt for our students. So we are one of the first districts to actually implement the pathway. We expect great things from that pathway. Our students know things that we don't even know, so I can't wait to visit that classroom to see all of the great things that they are doing. But the guardrails are that first course is really focused on the ethics of AI, making sure that students are using it in a responsible way.
Absolutely. Thank you for your question. I think the first thing that comes to mind is that we have nonstop recruitment. The first thing that we do all year long is we're constantly partnering with universities, going out throughout the state of Georgia, making sure that we are getting the very best immediately from colleges. The other thing is, how do we retain those special ed teachers? The more we retain, the less we have to go out and recruiting. I want to reemphasize the college partnerships, because as in the last 10 years, I think there's less and less universities in the country that actually offer bachelor's in special ed. So that's a big piece too to really think through and how we partner. And then the last big piece for us is the non-traditional pathways, right? How do we get individuals that are coming from different different backgrounds and they want to teach special ed? How do we get them to get certified so they can stay in our classrooms? And we do a lot of that support as well. So those are 3 things that come to mind.
And are there any other questions? Well, it sounds like you covered everything very thoroughly, and we don't need to do any more. We appreciate everybody attending. That wraps up our press conference today. We are going to allow some tours, so if you'll contact the board members, if you'll go with Principal Nichols, and then any of the media.
Thank you for watching A&F Plus. For more breaking news, live coverage, and your community stories, download the Atlanta News First app. You can also watch us on YouTube, Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. To join the conversation on YouTube Live, visit our channel and hit subscribe. You can also listen to the Atlanta News First podcast by searching Atlanta News First on your preferred listening platform.